It's a civic duty.
Let's register on the electoral list. This is a message from Equinoxe Television.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for just staying with us on this special edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. And main story tonight, the whereabouts of Ismail Togo, a staff member of the Idabato Council, remains unknown after he was kidnapped alongside a divisional officer for Idabato, Roland Ewane, on October 1st, 2024. Though Roland Ewane has been set free, Etogo's fate still remains a mystery. That's our major story tonight. Stay with us for greater details. Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television for presentation. I am Immaculate Fogwe. We begin with the sport element. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon just finished playing the first half of the FIFA 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers game against Eswatini. The game ended with a 0-0 score. The match is being played at the Bombela Stadium in South Africa. With a lead of just 1 point over Libya and Cape Verde, Cameroon must win to avoid losing the first position. Note that only the first team in each group will qualify directly for the World Cup. The 4 best second place sides from the 9 groups will engage in the playoff, and the winner will compete with sides from other continents in a bid to qualify. And however proud to the football game, the journey of the indomitable Lions to South Africa was marred by some irregularities, causing the Lions to miss out on the pre-match press conference. The delay that was observed in the journey of the Lions has been blamed on misunderstanding in the Lions' den. Smart Jikangirua, sportsman, tells us more in the following report.
It was a confident and ambitious squad of the indomitable Lions that left the country en route to South Africa for their Day 5 encounter of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Leaving the country, all went well, but problems began immediately. The Lions landed on South African soil. The initial program was that the special flight that took the Lions from Cameroon was supposed to touch down at Mbombele, which had 2 different airports, but due to changes on the program, it landed in Johannesburg, where during the control by immigration officers, a player whose administrative documents didn't permit him to get his feet on South African soil delayed the journey of the Lions. It was only after midnight that the delegation finally left the airport to travel by bus for a distance of 330 kilometers to Mbombele. Many players expressed their disappointment on their social media platform, with Mumi Ngamale saying, "God should protect us and keep us away from danger." As a result of the delay, the traditional pre-match press conference and the acquaintance of the pitch for the encounter was cancelled by head coach Mark Breeze, who wanted his player to rest. In 2024, still on South African soil, Cameroon witnessed the same fate before their match against Namibia for the AFCON Morocco qualifiers encounter. The new call-ups, Dani Namaso and Nathan Ngumu, had a difficult experience in their first cap with the Lions. Many are now asking who was at the helm of the arrangement for the Lions' displacement to South Africa.
Away from sports, where is the Idabato Council staff, Ismail Togo? A question without an answer for now, after the locality's divisional officer kidnapped with him had been set free. Babla Jonathan has answers to that.
Roland Ewane is free, but Etongo Ismail is still in captivity. Both men were kidnapped on October 1, 2024. While Idabato Divisional Officer Roland Ewane is back home, the fate of council staff Etongo Ismail remains hanging on the balance. Where is Etongo Ismail? What is happening to him? Why was he not released? Multiple questions but no precise answer. And yet another question: what is government doing about his situation?
We still have one case, the second assistant mayor of Idabato. So we are still working on that case, and I think by the grace of God, sooner or later, we'll also obtain the release of the second assistant mayor of Idabato.
Territorial Administration Minister Tanganji Paul reassures the nation of government's resolve to free Etongo Ishmael.
And on to other news, it's been over 3 months since the offices of REDAC, a prominent human rights organization, was sealed by administrative authorities. Despite the 3-month time limit elapsing, the government is yet to issue a statement on removing the seal. A reporter spoke with a board member of REDAC and sought the expertise of a legal mind to shed light on the implications of government's inaction. Ese Lucilengu tells us more.
Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, suspended REDAC, Reach Out and other NGOs for 3 months, citing concerns over illicit and unexplained financing. However, 3 months later, the seal on REDAC's doors remains and the situation has worsened.
Après la date d'expiration de la suspension,
days after the suspension period expired, the doors of REDAC are still sealed. We are unable to explain the reasons behind this, and we have observed that the situation has worsened.
Et donc,
it is essential for Minat, who is responsible for this act, to clarify why his own decision is not being respected.
Il y avait des activités sur la pacification du processus électoral.
The suspension has had a severe consequence, hurting all field activities and leaving many young people unemployed.
Qui sont en arrêt, qui sont au travail.
REDAC has decided to pursue legal actions with a coalition of lawyers filing complaints with the government.
Et donc, nous sommes en train de suivre parce que le REDAC a choisi la voie de la légalité.
What then are the legal implications of failing to lift an expired suspension measure on a civil society organization?
And after expiration, after the 3-month suspension, one would expect that the government, of course, will proceed to unseal the building, and then the REDAC takes over its activities.
The legal mind, Barrister Kamwan Limen in Abroad, further explains.
So in case the government does not do that, the REDAC has to serve pre-litigation notice that the period of suspension has elapsed and they're expecting within maybe 24 hours or whatever, and give them a month. If they don't, then they have to cease administrative court. When they go to the administrative court, of course, the administrative court will uplift the suspension because it is already expired, and then REDAC will take over its activities.
Despite this, the government has remained silent, prompting civil society actors to urge them to recognize human rights organizations as essential bodies that preserve peace, integrity, and rights.
And in other news, calm has returned to Maiman village in Kupe Manunguba division of the Southwest region after a tense atmosphere that characterized the consultative talks aimed at designating a third-class traditional ruler for the village. Organized this time around by the senior divisional officer for Kupe Manunguba division, the exercise got marred by violence, disagreement, accusations, and counter-accusations. We have more with from Yamstrom Sanda.
The Maiman Village Community Hall in Guti Subdivision, Kupe Manunguba Division of the Southwest region could not contain the anger, disagreement and disorder that characterized yet another consultative talks for the designation of a third-class traditional ruler of the village. Disagreeing once again on the method, approach and the list of kingmakers presented by the senior divisional officer for the Kupe Manunguba Division, Ekema Williams, the disgruntled locals accused him of manipulation and intimidation.
It's a shame for the senior divisional officer. Today was total drama. The list he used in Bangam is the same list he has used today. When we have a constituted list of kingmakers that family sat, wrote minutes and submitted to the Dio of Guti. To our greatest dismay today, he came with his own lists, refused using the list of the Dio of Guti, and they were even quarreling on the table, openly. He even went to the extent when I wanted to ask a question to kick my stomach. SDO kicking my stomach.
In a counter-accusation, the senior administrator accused the angry locals of destabilization, referring to them as a group of paid agitators.
It is not just this agitation. I know some people have been paid to destabilize the village, but the indigenous should know that it is their duty to protect their village first before any other person. The forces cannot do all of that. Today is a different ball game. We cannot just start arresting people because they are agitated. You saw how they insulted us, they spat on us, they even tore my cap. You saw it.
A deep-rooted disagreement tearing not only Miami village apart, but also local administrators, according to local villagers who allege that the senior...
And now we talk religion. Muslim faithful in the city of Douala, just like everywhere around the world, are intensifying prayers for the remaining 10 days of fasting. The nights are considered to be spiritual, as they believe Allah will answer their prayers and their wishes come true. Our reporter Malaglari met with some of them at the Bisenge neighborhood in Douala and compiled the following report for the 6 p.m. news.
It is 6:45 p.m. at Ga Bisenge, Douala 1 municipality, where Muslim faithful have gathered like every other evening at the mosque to break their fasting.
De manger, on s'abstient de manger, de boire de l'eau.
He says they start their fasting at dawn till sunset, abstaining from food, drinks and sex. And in the evening, they now assemble here to say their prayers and only eat at the end of the prayer.
Avant d'attendre le grand repas qui est après les prières canoniques.
And all over the day you have to continue your life. Go at work, you have to take care of the home, you have to take care of children. It is normal and natural. You are prepared for that.
The last 10 days of fasting to a Muslim are considered the most blessed and spiritually significant. During these days, they strive to seek Allah's blessings and forgiveness. And angels are believed to descend to earth on the holiest nights, bringing peace and blessings.
Parce que c'est dans les 10 derniers jours que se trouve la nuit du destin, qu'on appelle le Laylat ou Qadr, la nuit du destin.
Prayers are intensified during these last 10 days, and they will need to eat only light food in order to carry on. However, these nights of fasting are sometimes perturbed by several challenges.
S'il n'y a pas la lumière, il y a les groupes là-bas au quartier. Donc si tu écrases souvent à 250, c'est maintenant 500.
To break the fasting, the menu depends on each and every family, but usually fruits are unavoidable.
J'ai eu l'appel de ma femme qui m'a dit, monsieur, vous allez déjeuner.
He says his wife has informed him that traditional meal is what they have on the menu. He's so excited.
Aller à la maison parce que je vais déjeuner avec la nourriture.
It's mostly fruits, juice, like chicken, fried fish.
The holy month of Ramadan starts on the 1st of March and will end with the appearance of the crescent moon.
And that report done by Malaglari ends the special edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Coming up next is the second half of the game between Cameroon and Eswatini. Stay tuned.